and find out a little bit about how Larry came to know about this incredible thing. Larry, tell me, how did you come across the release technique? How did you get involved in this?
Well, I always thought if I made a lot of money, I'd be happy. My father was a small retailer who worked 6.5 days a week to put food on our table. And he always told me if I could make $100 a week, I would have died and went to heaven. We lived in the basement, and to me, the rich guy lived in the sixth floor. So I put myself through school working lots and lots of jobs, and when I graduated, I saw some bunch of my friends making lots of money. And I thought to myself, I'm just as smart as they are, so I kicked myself in and I said, get out of my way, world, I'm taking what I want. I climbed my way to the top, and one day, Time magazine wrote an article about me, and I came home to my penthouse, and I was so unhappy that I walked over to the terrace and I thought of jumping for 2 hours. So I know what happened to an Elvis Presley, or a John Belushi, or a Whitney Houston. You get everything the world says is going to make you happy, it's confusing. And so fortunately I was never into drugs or drinking. I was too hyper, it didn't do a thing to me. A couple of times I tried it, and I was just waiting for something to happen, and it didn't happen. And so I never went in that direction, but I asked myself two very important questions. And the first question was, what am I doing on the planet? And the answer came, I don't know what I'm doing on the planet. Second is, what's life about? So I decided, well, I'm not going to jump. I got to find an answer. And what that answer was, I didn't know. I stumbled into a couple of New Age courses, didn't get any answers. And about 2 years later, a man came into my office and told me about the release technique and introduced me to a man called Lester Levenson. And I'll tell you in a minute who Lester is. And my whole life turned around and changed after that. I found the answer. And the answer was, he taught me how to release, and using the release technique. And it's the most amazing technique that you could ever imagine. It's simple to use, and you can get rid of anything that bothers you.
What was it about Levenson that attracted you to the release technique?